my money, bitch. Yeah, ho, when I see you, where be my money, bitch? Yeah. Look, I pulls up to the block where you say your nigga trapping at. Get the bands out his pocket.
What's good, HoodBougee gang? It's your girl Finesse So Slim here with the big tits. Y'all know what's going on. I'm just kidding. But finna stab myself. But today I'm going to do a labor and delivery video or vlog, whatever it's called, while I take down these braids. Cause baby, I done had these braids in before the baby, and my baby almost a month old now. So while I take down my hair, I'll go ahead and tell you guys what happened. I did do the castor oil to induce labor, so that's what I'm going to make the video aimed towards. Yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, so starting off, this was the castor oil that I took to induce labor. Let's read it. Okay, it's the castor oil USP. It's a laxative, and this is from Walgreens. It was $7. Baby, and when I tell you that junk worked, it worked, because it gotta hit ASAP. So hold on, y'all. Y'all know I have a little hard time multitasking, so let's just cut it here. But that's Sean walking back and forth. I do not know why. But anyways, so I did do, like I said, the castor oil. So basically, what happened was, I'll try to insert videos. Hold on, I think I hear my baby up. Well, we already have one up. Come say hi. Say hey. Hi. She needs her hair taken down, as y'all can see, because she had bantu knots in, but I'm gonna take them down today. But yeah, but I hear baby girl, I think she's getting up ready to be fed. Her daddy has to feed her. But anyways, so it definitely worked. And let me back. Okay, so it took approximately, let's say, because I took it at 3 and 2 in the afternoon, and I was going into active labor at like 3 at night. So it took about 12 hours for me to go into active labor. Active labor is 4 centimeters and up. So I was in active labor at about 3, and I had baby girl at 2 or at 3 the next day, because I think she was born at 3:20. So yeah, it took a day for the baby to come. So it definitely worked. 12 hours for me to go into labor, a day for baby girl to get here and make her entrance into the world. And I'll show her too in the video. But yeah, like, so what happened was, when I took the castor oil, I didn't feel anything. At first when I took it. Like, I'm like, damn, I don't think this shit gonna work. I'm like, maybe my baby isn't ready to come. I was 37 weeks. So, you know, at 37 weeks, you're considered term, but technically not full term. Full term is 38 weeks. Term is almost the same thing. Term is where the baby, if the baby was to arrive, she wouldn't have to be put on the incubator to help breathe and stuff. Usually at 37 weeks, they can breathe on their own, function on their own, everything. But excuse me, they suggest you wait until 38 weeks. I was just tired of being pregnant, and baby was big and heavy. I did not know she was gonna come out 7 pounds 2 ounces, so I was happy. But yeah, so let's back before I get into all that. But anyways, so I was tired of being pregnant. I was emotional. I was going through depression. So I was like, you know what? Oh, excuse me, y'all. I'm trying to, these scissors a little dull. Okay, but yeah. So I didn't know if it really was gonna work. An hour later, I started feeling the contractions because I went walking. So immediately, no ma'am. But immediately after I took the castor oil, me and my child's father, we went walking. We walked for about 15 minutes. I don't know if we walked a mile or whatever, but we walked for about 15 minutes, so it may be a mile. And I started feeling the contractions, not after walking, but when I got back in the house, I started feeling the contractions. So I'm like, I was feeling them, but they wasn't strong yet. So I was like, okay, I'm cool. Like, I don't know if it's gonna work or not, because I seen a lot of people said that it did work, then a lot of people said it didn't work. So I was scared. I'm like, damn, what if she's not ready to come out? But if she's not ready to come out, she wouldn't have came out, because people have took the castor oil and baby wasn't ready to come out, so the baby didn't come. But in my case, she came. But so what happened? My bad. Y'all see all this build up? I'm gonna show y'all how I get this out. I don't just comb it out. I spray some Jamaican castor oil. But anyways, so yeah. Then y'all, I still have pregnant brain right now, so I forget a lot of shit. Y'all see the huge boobs, mom boobs. So then what happened? Oh yeah, I started feeling contractions. So like an hour later, I was on the toilet. I'll insert that video now. So anyways, yeah, I was on the toilet. Contractions was coming in, so I was gonna go ahead and get in the tub just to ease them. It wasn't really bad, so I wouldn't say they were bad. I could just feel them, but they weren't bad, you know. So when I did take my bath, I took a bath, soaked in the bath, got out, walked around the house. I was just walking back and forth because I'm like, I gotta get this baby out. These contractions not coming fast enough, because you know they say 4 and 1 is what you're looking for. 5 minutes apart, and they last 4 minutes. So 5 minutes apart and they last 4 minutes. That's when you could tell you're going into active labor. So, yeah. 1 second. Okay, my bad, y'all. Your girl is back. I had to help Sean with the baby because she's up. I'll have him bring her in here in a second after he feeds her. But yeah, okay. So where was I at? Okay, I was on the toilet, and if you know, well, if you watch any videos, for any moms that's watching right now, if you watch any videos, you know that the laxative makes you use the bathroom, so you feel the urge to have to poop, so you're pooping. So that's why they tell you to eat before you take the castor oil. That's exactly what I did. I ate a big breakfast before I took the castor oil, about 2 hours before I took the castor oil. Like 2 hours, maybe an hour before I took the castor oil, and then I took it. So it makes you have to use the bathroom. So any mothers that already had babies, you know, when it's time to give birth, that urge to poop, it feels like you gotta poop, so you have to push. So that helps bring on the contractions. That urge to poop is causing a contraction, so the baby's moving its way down the canal. So basically that's what transpired. I had to poop. I had diarrhea. It wasn't as bad as previous videos that I have seen of like people trying to say it was. It wasn't that bad to me personally. It was like diarrhea, and then it wasn't bad. I had diarrhea maybe twice. I had to go to the bathroom 2 or 3 times, and that was pretty much it for me. I know some people, I think I may have cut this one too short. Probably not, because this is my edge. But yeah, so I know some people were saying like they had the bad, you know, but for me it wasn't that bad. I had diarrhea maybe twice, and like sat on the toilet for like 15-20 minutes. It wasn't that bad. So yeah, so then I got in the tub or whatever, got out of the tub. I walked back and forth for about, look at this, I did almost cut my hair. What is it? The buildup is ridiculous. I had these in for like 2 months, y'all. But yeah, so, I may have cut this one too short too. But so what happened was, after that, after walking around back and forth, I tried to take a nap at about 6 o'clock. But I still was having a contraction. So I'm like, damn, okay. I was trying to figure out like, damn girl, you psyching yourself out. Is it really contractions? Because they wasn't consistent. They were like 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 9 minutes. They were like everywhere. So I'm like, I don't think this is like, I'm really having contractions. I think I'm just psyching myself because I just took the castor oil. So I'm trying to tell myself, yeah, I think I did cut my hair right here. So I was trying to tell myself like, girl, you know what? You going into labor. But really, then I started feeling like, no, I wasn't going into labor. I was just psyching myself because I knew I had just took the castor oil. So I'm like, okay, let me get up and freaking walk. So I was walking and doing squats. Y'all, when I tell y'all I was in here showing out, y'all would have been dying laughing at the shit. I was showing out. So I took the, I was walking back and forth. Then I decided, I'm like, okay, fuck it. It's 7 o'clock. It's been 4 hours because I took it at 2:30. So it was like 4 hours and, no, it was 5 hours and some change almost. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna take 3 more because I took 2. So originally at 2:30, I took 2 teaspoons. But then I started feeling light contractions, but then I feel like they were dying down at about 7 o'clock. Like I could still feel them, but they weren't strong and they were everywhere. They weren't consistent. So I'm like, okay, freak it. I'm going to take 3 more. Boop, 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 took 3 more. Start walking back and forth. It's 7 o'clock. So I'm walking back and forth, walking back and forth. I try to lay down again. I lay down maybe about 30 minutes. Get up at about 8. I had to poop again. So I poop. So I poop and I'm still walking around. I'm walking around back and forth, walking around. I'm like, I gotta get this baby out. Y'all, I pray that this don't work. I gotta get her out. So I'm walking back and forth, walking back and forth. Then, so what happens? I'm walking back and forth. Oh yeah, cool. I lay down for a little bit. Lay down just on my phone, watching castor oil videos. Like, damn, this working for them. Like, you know, trying to give me the remedy. Like, I got it. It's gonna work. What happened? Okay, so now fast forward. It's 12 o'clock. So I'm timing the contractions from about 11. We're gonna start at 11. At 11, I'm timing these contractions because they're coming on. So, and then they're getting stronger. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna thug it out. I'm gonna thug it out until my water break. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to thug it out to my water break. So I know that a bitch in labor for real. Hold on, I just got something in my eye. So I'm trying to know, like, damn, I'm in labor for real before I go to the emergency room. So I want my water to break first. So I'm walking, or whatever. At 11, I feel them. They kind of strong. They pumping. So I get a tracker. I don't remember what the app is called. It's like pregnancy contractions tracker or some shit. So just look up, go, whatever phone you have, Google, I don't even know what the Google store maybe is called. But I just go on the Apple, app store. And I downloaded the pregnancy tracker app, pregnancy contractions app. Yeah, so then I see that they're 5 minutes apart. I'm like, damn, okay, so I am in labor. They're 5 minutes apart. They're strong. Sometimes it'll go up. It'll be like 6 minutes apart. So I was hitting like 5 minutes apart, then 6 minutes apart, 5 minutes apart, 6 minutes apart. But it was consistent, and they were strong. They were getting stronger. So I'm like, no, I'm not gonna go. They were kind of hurting sometimes. I was like, I'm gonna just go once. These scissors are dull, y'all. I'm strangling them. But yeah. So I'm like, I'm gonna wait till my water bust because I do not want to be sent home. I watched a lot of videos where girls was sent home for false labor. So I'm like, I'm gonna wait till my water break. But these contractions are coming in. Now it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm feeling them. They're pumping. I feel them coming in strong. So I tell my child's father, I'm like, you know what? I need to go to the hospital because they're 5 minutes apart. I feel them. They hurt. They're starting to hurt. I'm tired. I'm getting upset. You know what I'm saying? They weren't bad where I'm like, I'm finna fall out, which y'all know I have a 1-year-old, so I know how it feels to be. But I knew that I was in labor. So we go to the hospital. At the hospital, this was the worst experience freaking ever. The hospital that I went with is called Avid Health Winter Park in Florida, here in Orlando, Florida. Horrible. Any future mothers that's watching this, please do not go to them. I do not like them at all. But anyways, that's another story. But so what ended up happening was, I'm sorry, I hear my daughter. So what ended up happening was, my doctor wasn't there. My doctors that I normally see, they weren't there because it was like 2 in the morning. First, it was so many women having babies at the same time that I was going into labor. It was freaking ridiculous. They had 16 deliveries that night. So when I came in, I had to wait about an hour just to get in there for them to see me. So then when I go in there, this doctor comes. It's a man doctor, which I did not like him at all. He was very rough when he was checking me, which I know it kind of hurts when they check you anyways, but he was just very rough to me. And I know they said my how my placenta, or not my placenta, how the sack was positioned, it was awkward, so they couldn't quite feel her. So he had to like awkwardly place his hand, but he was just kind of rough, and he was like, you're like 2.5. So I'm like, okay, I'm 2.5, but my contractions are 5 minutes apart and they're strong. So I'm like, okay. So he was thinking about sending me home, but I'm like, no, I'm telling y'all, like, these contractions are coming and it hurt. And I know I took the castor oil and that makes the process like quick. So I'm like, no, I don't want to be sent home. So, but I didn't say that. I was just gonna let him send me home because my child's father, it was getting late, because now at this time it was like 3 o'clock when he checked me actually. So it's 3 o'clock, my child's father ready to go home, go to sleep, he tired. So I'm like, you know what, I'll just go home, labor at home, come back early in the morning type of deal. But they had me sitting there waiting so long for the discharge papers because it was so many women having babies. I didn't even get put in the labor room. I was put in where the women recover from C-sections, or like before they go in to get a C-section. I forgot which room, but it wasn't like a normal labor room where you labor, then they transition you to the delivery room or whatever. So, yeah. So I'm sitting there. First, funny story. So my 1-year-old is with me. So the lady is in there. She's gonna have the baby. And she's contracting. So I hear that they said she was 7 centimeters. So she's screaming. She's you know how women are. So my daughter is mocking her, y'all. She's mocking her. It was funny, but it wasn't funny because I know the pain that the lady was feeling. So I'm like, damn. But my daughter was like so loud, mocking her, laughing about it. So I'm like, baby, that is not nice. So my child's father ended up taking her to the car. So they were in the car sitting. And he was taking a nap because it's like 4 in the morning now because I'm still waiting on discharge papers. But these contractions, they pump it and they hurting. So they're still 5 minutes apart, but now they're getting longer. I feel like they're like 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, and they hurt. So they come back in there. I'm like, do y'all see the contractions? Yeah, I see the contractions, but the doctor said that's normal. He wants you to go home because you only 2 centimeters. This could be the normal for you until you have the baby. This could go on for 3 or 4 days for some women, and they still may not have the baby quite yet. I'm in active labor. These contractions are 5 to 4 minutes apart. They're strong as fuck. They hurt like fuck. Like, you know, on the any mothers that had babies already, you know, it like my contractions were going off the thing and back down. Like it was going off the paper back down. So I'm like, you know what, get the doctor back in here. I need him to check me because I'm telling y'all, I know I didn't dilate it some more because I'm in pain, I'm in labor. So she's like, okay. So it's like another hour before the doctor come in. He come in, he checked me. He like, you're like a 3.5, almost 4. Exactly. So I went from a 2.5 to a 3.5, and possibly could be at a 4. So he was like, okay, so what we'll do, because they don't consider active labor until 5 centimeters. I'm like, 4 is active labor, but they didn't consider it till 5 centimeters there. So I'm like, damn, I'm almost 4 and y'all still thinking about sending me home. So the doctor was like, okay, just walk around in the halls for an hour. So I'm like, okay, that's what I'll do. I'll walk around in the hall for an hour, then he'll come back in and check me. So I'm walking in the hall for about an hour. So now it's about 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, my doctor gets in finally, which I was so happy. I love my doctor. So my doctor come in, she checks me and she's like, you're 5.5, almost 6 centimeters. She was telling me how the baby was positioned. It was hard for them to check. So maybe that's why the previous doctor was having a hard time checking, because it was hard for them to check. So yeah, so I'm like, yes, though, it's time to have a baby. I'm 5.5, almost 6 centimeters. Yes. And she was like, you don't feel it? Because I'm sitting there casual still. Because I didn't really feel the contractions, and my water hadn't bust yet. Any mothers know, once that water busts, baby, them contractions hurt like hell. So the life of a mom, mommy life. Yes, baby. Okay, give me a second, y'all. Y'all know I don't like doing too much editing to the video, so y'all get it real and raw. So yeah, okay. I'm just cutting on the TV for y'all. So yeah, so I'm feeling the contractions. They hurt. No, I wasn't really feeling the contractions. I was sitting there actually chilling because it didn't hurt that bad quite yet. Because she was like, when the lady came in there, she was like, because they were supposed to transfer me to labor and delivery. She was like, are you the one that's going, that's in labor, that's 6 centimeters? I'm like, yeah. She was like, I didn't even realize it because you were just like, I was just sitting in there casual because it didn't quite hurt yet. So she transferred me over to the labor and delivery because they have a labor and delivery room there. So it was just the room that I was going to deliver in. No, actually, yeah, it was the room that I was going to deliver in. So I was there. Contractions started coming in, so they were like, okay, they're gonna bust my water because my water hadn't bust and I was 6 centimeters. So they're like, they're gonna bust my water and they're gonna give me because I had strep B, so they have to put an antibiotic. It's something that pregnant women get. You only get it when you're pregnant, but it could transition to the baby, I think. So they give you antibiotics. So they started my antibiotics. They were gonna bust my water in about an hour, because now when they finally get me in the room and everything, it's like 9 o'clock. I want to say it's 9 o'clock. Sean, is she okay? Yeah, because I heard her breathing funny. But yeah, so no. So I'm sorry, y'all. Got a whole lot going on. I want this video to be under 30 minutes, so I'm not trying to talk y'all head off. What happens? Okay, so yeah, it's about 9 o'clock. So I'm in the labor room, the labor and delivery room. Zadayla, stop. She's about to knock the camera down, y'all. Zadayla, stop. Oh Lord. Hold on, y'all. She messing up my little setup here. But yeah, so relax, baby. Yeah, anyways, we're gonna just fast forward all of that. Oh, she asked me, was I going to get epidural? I wasn't going to get it because I'm like, I'm almost 7 centimeters, because when they checked me again, I was 6.5. I'm almost 7 centimeters and I didn't really feel it. So I'm like, I don't really know. But then I'm like, you know what? I can't imagine just pushing the baby out on my own. Fuck it, give me the epidural. So dude come in, give me the epidural. Mind you, this was the worst experience. This is why I don't like, only one of the reasons why I don't like the hospital that I delivered at. My first daughter was born in Chicago. I loved everything about it. She was born at Christ Hospital in Chicago. They were excellent. My epidural was perfect. My doctor that delivered my baby was a pro. Everything, Zadayla, excuse me, y'all. Go sit down. She keep messing up the ring light. But everything was perfect. But here, they messed up my epidural. Just horrible. And I'm back in Florida. But yeah, so he come in. He's having a hard time inserting my the needle. He put the little, I don't know what it's called, the little cord that helps the medicine from the epidural like go into your body or whatever. He's having a hard time putting that in. That pissed me off. Like in Chicago, they were quick about it. It took all of maybe 15, 10 minutes. They were quick about it. This process took like 20 to 30, 40 minutes. No cap. So I'm pissed off now because I'm like, dude, listen, what the fuck are you, like, hurry up. So my child's father, I finally called him. He was on the way back to the hospital now because I told him he could go home. He had to get the diaper bag, the car seat, and like just rest for an hour or two. So I call him. He's on the way back. Now it's like 11 o'clock. So I get the epidural. The epidural, okay, after he put it in, it only worked on one side. So on this side of my body, it was working. But on this side of my body, it was not working at all. So I'm aggravated because I'm like, dude, why is it not working? It took you that long to put this in, and now it's not working. Now you finna make me mad. I'm finna get mad. Y'all don't want to see the hood, the ghetto slim. Nah, I'm pissed off because you playing with me. I'm in pain. I don't got time for games. So I'm feeling the contractions heavy on one side. The other side, I'm not. Doctor come in. She checked me. I'm still 7. So I'm like, okay. And these contractions coming because they didn't bust my water. So they bust my water. Contractions coming. I'm like, get him back in here to fix this damn fix the epidural. He come back in. He like, well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just boost the medicine because I just think the medicine may not be working, because I could literally move my leg and everything, my arm, everything. I'm not my arm, because you know it's from the waist down, so I can move my leg and all kind of stuff. So and she was like, that's not how it's supposed to be. So okay, he come in, he upped the medicine. I still feel I can still move. It's just heavy on this side now. He done made it heavier, so on one side of my body I can really feel it, like, because I can't really move. It's numb over there, but on this side of my body I can really feel it still. But the doctor come in, because I feel the urge to push, to start pushing. The doctor come in, she's like, no, you're only 8.5. Not yet, you're only 8.5. If you push now, you could cause damage or whatever she was saying, because it has to be 10. You have to be at 10. But I'm like, I feel the urge to push. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait. I'm like, but get the doctor in here so he can fix it. So she sends for the doctor. Like 15 minutes pass, and I'm like, I feel the urge to push. Get her in here now. I'm ready to push now. I don't care if I'm 8.5. I don't care what I am. I'm ready to push now. I feel the urge to push. I can feel the urge, and it's hurting because I feel the contractions, because the epidural only works on one side. And suddenly, just like 5 minutes while we're waiting on the doctor to come back in, it's like 3 minutes. I feel like the epidural wore off completely. Like I could move both of my legs, everything. So now I'm pissed off, because I'm like, the doctor coming back in, it's time for me to push. I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I'm like, get him in here to fix the medicine first. But she checked me and she like, you 9. But she was like, try to push, because I'm like, I feel the urge to push. Get the doctor in here because I need medicine. So I feel the urge to push. So she like, push, because remember I told you how my baby was positioned. It was awkward. So she was like, it seems like I was a 9, 9.5, not quite 10, but she was like, try to push. So I pushed, and she feel her head, like her head drop. And she was like, oh yeah, so she's hurrying up, she getting on her stuff. I'm like, I need the medicine. So, you know, I'm still trying to talk about the medicine. Y'all, yeah, I'm ready to push, because I was telling y'all it was time for me to push. But this medicine, I need Buddy to get his ass back in here ASAP before I get mad. So I'm like, damn, I'm never taking the castor oil again. I'm feeling like the girls on the videos. It's like, oh, don't take the castor oil because the labor part is horrible. So I'm feeling like that now, and I'm pissed off because I got the epidural. I shouldn't even got the epidural, because I had to naturally push her out and still feel the damn contractions partially. So I might as well just went ahead and not got the damn epidural. But I'm like, get him in here to push. But she was like, it was no time. So she was like, okay. I think she knew that my baby was going to be a bigger baby because of how big my belly was. So she was like, sometimes the shoulders get stuck. If the shoulders get stuck, they have to call she has to call another doctor and nurse in to help. But she was like, that may not be the case. She was just saying just in case. In my instance, that was the motherfucking case. You hear me? So, I didn't stop taking my hair down. Oh well, y'all not here for a hair tutorial. Y'all want to know, did that castor oil work? And it did. So what happened? Okay, it's time for me to push. I'm pushing. It hurts like hell. We call it the ring of fire. You know, when your baby have a lot of hair and their head come out, it burns like freak. It burns. So it's burning, pushing her out. Cool. Her head come out. Now all of a sudden, and it hurts, because so in the middle of me pushing, I'm like, get the doctor, I need medicine, I can't do it on my own. So it was no time. She was like, yes you can push. So my baby daddy, y'all, he don't like all of that. That'd be too much for him. So he never like watches. Like he'll sit there and hold my leg and like rub me, but he don't. So my sister is there with me, so she like, you got it, we see the head, push. I'm telling them I cannot push. I'm like, hey man, I can't, that's why I ain't want to do it naturally anyways, or whatever. But she like, ain't no time for medicine. So my baby head come out, her shoulders get stuck, because she's a bigger baby. She's 7.5 pounds. I think she was 7 pounds 5 ounces, or no, 7 pounds 2 ounces she was. So her shoulders get stuck. So they like 30 seconds. So another doctor run in the room with another nurse. They run in. So now it's like 5 of them all around me, like trying to get her out. They like a minute and 7 seconds. So it got up to like a minute and I think like 15 seconds or something, because they were trying to get her out, and they didn't know if they was gonna have to cut me or what. But I guess they didn't really know if they had time, so they were trying to hurry up and get her out, because she was like, I guess turning blue or something. Like I don't know, she couldn't breathe basically. So they finally got her out. So she didn't cry. She wasn't crying at first. So they were still counting her doing something, trying to get her to cry, whatever. So I'm like screaming because when they did the countdown, it scared me. So I'm like, make sure my baby okay. Make sure my baby okay. I'm crying because now they coming. They having me push the placenta out. So I'm trying to push the placenta out. Look at my baby. So I tell my sister, I'm like, go check on my baby. Go check on my baby while she not crying. So they're trying to get her to cry. She didn't cry. They get the suction and put it in her mouth. It's funny because that's what happened with my first daughter. They put the suction in her mouth. She started crying. She hollering. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. I make sure she got all her fingers and toes. This is what I say every time. You know, not to, because I know things happen, but, you know, I'm like, make sure she got all her fingers and toes. I want to make sure she healthy. Everything was good with her. She looked it perfect. She was big. The doctor was telling me if I would have waited any longer, I would have had to have a C-section with her because she was bigger. And me personally, I can't have, the doctor was saying, doesn't seem like I'll be able to have a baby bigger than 7.5 pounds at most. I wouldn't be able to. So yeah, they were checking her shoulders and stuff because it's something shoulder down, something with the shoulders, but everything was perfect. She was perfect. She was a little bruised on her nose, but she was perfect. They put it on me. She was perfect. She did have jaundice, so that's a different story. And I'm O positive, so it was the ABO incompatibility, and it was we tested Coons positive. So basically, my blood cells went through the placenta and attacked her blood cell, created antibodies because some of her blood cells got over to my blood cells and attacked her body, or whatever. So that was the whole story. So we did have to stay in the NICU for 3 days. We did have to. I'm listening to my child's father, but yeah. So we did have to stay for 3 days in the NICU, and it was horrible. But that's a different story. If y'all want to hear my NICU experience, how much stress it was for me to be in the hospital I was in the hospital a total of a week, almost a week. It was like 7 days, 6 days, 5 days, 5 or 6 days. My baby had to stay in the NICU for 4 days. And it was horrible. It was very horrible. I cried a lot. It was a lot. But if you want to hear my NICU story, drop down below. And also, any mommies that had castor oil stories, I want to know. Drop the castor oil story below. I will read it. I definitely do. I read all my comments. Comment back to all my comments. If you have any questions, definitely comment. Negative comments will get blocked. Y'all know how I do. I try to keep it real cute, but don't make me get crazy, okay? But yeah, so that's what happened. The castor oil did work. I took 5 teaspoons of castor oil, and I was in active labor within 12 hours, and I was having her within 24 hours. So yeah, that castor oil worked, y'all. I know I look crazy, but I don't even care. This is the mommy life for me. This is why I've barely been giving y'all videos. Now I have 2 kids. Y'all know I have a 1-year-old. She's 20 months. And now I have a 1-month-old because she'll be 1 month this Friday. So a 1 month and a 20-month-old. Stressful. So y'all get what y'all could get from me, okay? But if y'all want to hear my NICU story, definitely drop that below. Yeah. And that's that. Period. I would, Sean. Yeah. Is Anita up? Yeah. Let me see her. You button her onesie back up so I could show y'all my baby.
Hold on real quick.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll show y'all my baby. Then we'll end the video. But yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Drop any questions y'all have. And I do think all of hey baby, what's your matter? Her daddy got her, she got cold on her eye. Hold on, y'all. Okay. I'm sorry. Oh, she upset, y'all. I'm sorry. She got a head full of hair. Y'all want to see her? Look, say hey. Say hey, mama. What's the matter? Oh, she upset. She in here with her diaper. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, baby. Okay, mama. Yeah, but this is baby Zania, and this is baby Zadela.
She on YouTube.
But yeah, this baby's Ania. Say hey. But yeah, so that is all, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and attend to baby Zania. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Drop any questions and comments you have. Negativity will be blocked. Thank you.
My money, bitch. Yeah.